Hello everyone, well we've arrived at the destination of Blue Rose Caravan Park, somewhere in Yorkshire. We just, as I said, I'm waiting in the car. Mark's gone into reception to do whatever he needs to do. Which I don't know what he needs to do. We've never been to a Dewberry before. Anyway, ahead of me is some static homes. And we're just in front of a gate that's open, and there's a few people milling about. So I'm desperate for a wee, and I think the dogs will want to be let out to do some business as well. There's Karen. She's been okay. She's quite loaded actually. We did manage to get a few bits in, more than I showed you in the video. The nose weight was checked. Yes, and we cooperated getting the van off our drive, because we have to move it manually. And then once it's connected up and everything, I have to check all the lights work. I have to stand at the back. Molly, now stop it. Molly's been a right pain in the neck all this trip. I've had my headphones in. Hey, moles. I think they're desperate for Dewberry. A wee. Daisy's just in there. I just can see her. This is where the dogs travel. Anyway, I think Mark's coming back, so we'll soon be on the pitch, I think. Well, we're set up. We worked as a team. Mark did the levelling and I connected up the waste and the fresh water and filled up the toilet and everything. We've already had some help from a chap over the way who's been caravanning 40 odd years. So Mark managed to get the caravan reversed fairly well, and the man was quite impressed that it was Mark's first time at doing it, but the bloke came along and guided Mark the last bit. So we're on the hard standing. It's everything's connected up so far. We've got a bit of a problem with the clean water where we connect it to the water tap. We've got an aqua roll thing with a mains adapter, and it's just spurting water everywhere. So the bloke's got some PTFE tape for us, and is going to try and fix it. So we've only been here 10 minutes, and we've had some help, which is what I've learnt, from caravanners. I think they can smell newbies. But so at the moment, Mark's popped off to the dog park, which is just a couple of minutes away. Just a specific area for dogs to do their business. So I'm just unpacking. I've put the heating on. It's warming up nicely. I'm just unpacking everything. Running the water through. I've done that to fill the tank. I'll put the hot water on shortly. But we're just putting everything, I'm just putting everything away inside the cupboards and the overhead lockers. Well, here's Daisy. Daisy, you know where you are. You've been here before. Right, so this is the view. Not much of a view, really, out of the front window. But anyway, so we've unpacked everything, and everything's put away. Mark's just had his cup of tea. And we're improvising the frying pan as a fruit bowl. So we've sort of allocated space for our things. It's that's all my stuff. It's mainly my laptop and my iPad and my iPod and my vitamins. So I've got those two. And the two front lockers, they've still got those throws in, but obviously if we need the space, we can just take the throws out and just shove them on the sofas. I think this is Mark's. He did initially have clothes in there when there was an empty drawer in the wardrobe in the washroom. I said, why have you put clothes in there? Oh, I think they're all right in there. I said, I had to tell him, because, you know, we'll need space. We're only here for a few nights, but if we were away for a whole week, we might need that space for more food and stuff. So why put clothes in when he had an empty drawer? That's what I say. Yes, we're going to come to blows. That's mainly dog, apart from the gin there. The dogs don't have the gin. The microwave, obviously, is the microwave. Now this is a bit of a silly cupboard. This is the cocktail cabinet, which is absolutely a ludicrous thing. Anyway, it's held two of my ciders, and we've got bread products in here and crisps and some peanut butter. But it's just full of these silly clip things. Now they're normally they're just screwed in. I think I'm going to take those out to make better use of that space. On the shelves, well, at the moment we've just got the thermometer. Oh, it's a nice 15 degrees in here now. And we're just leaving out the tea and coffee and hot chocolate stuff on the shelves, because this is obviously where we're having our toaster and kettle. I'm about to try a bagel in this toaster. But the thing is, I tripped. Now I'm glad it only trips us, because I was worried that when you trip the electrics, you trip the electrics of everyone. But you don't. So everything went off apart from the lights. What had happened is, oh, look at that. Is that supposed to... Hang on. That's sticking out. That's not supposed to stick out. That wasn't sticking out before. Oh, don't say that that's knackered already. Anyway, that's I've just turned, oh, well, obviously all the water works. Let me just turn the pump back on. All the water is connected up. Yeah, I've had it all running to fill the tank, and I did turn on the electric for the hot water, but I had that on, I had the heating on, and then I had the kettle on, so that's why it tripped. So I'm going to boil the kettle again. The kettle is fine on its own, and then when the kettle's boiled, I'll make my coffee, and then I'll put the toaster on. When I've finished using these appliances, I think I can leave the heating off for a bit. I think you should be able to have the heating on as well as the hot water. I might just have the heating on a lower setting actually. I've had it on, I'm going to put it on 500. Yeah, hang on. I'm going to leave the heating on 500 just to keep it warm. And then once I've finished using these appliances, I'll pop the hot water back on, which is just down here, little button down there, because I'm using it on electric. So up here, we've just got our crockery, more food. Now what I've thought, now it's useful, I've got a notepad, and we're already discovering things we could do with. Now for example, in here, at home, we've got some kitchen cupboards that have fixed shelves, and you can't put additional shelves, so you can buy these sort of fold away metal shelf things to give you an extra shelf. So we're definitely going to get one. I think you can get a big one. So basically we can get an extra shelf, so it has the feet that come up like this, and then because there's all this wasted space, so at the moment I've had to put some of my tins and packets in these cubbies here, but once we get one of those shelf raiser things, additional shelves, that's going to make that much more efficient use of space for all our food. So there's that. I'm just going to turn the kettle off because I don't really want it fully boiling. In here we've got our crockery utensils. There's not a lot in the cupboard under the sink. I think what we're going to use for that, I've got my induction hob under there at the moment, but there is space under there. I think what we'll do, we'll line it with something and use that for our muddy boots, the bottom part of the sink. Inside the oven I've put the pans to keep those out of the way. Well, I've got my fluffy slippers, I can put those back on now. I took them off to go outside. I used my Crocs, so I put my slippers back on. And in the, I've filled up the toilet and I've already had my first wee-wee. So in here, to squeeze through, we've got, just put my thing out with my toothbrush in. I've just got my toiletry bag, but obviously we can take everything out. There's Mark's stuff, but we can undo those. We've got all these shelves, you know, we can put things in. Inside the cupboard under the sink, just got the toilet rolls, and I've got this shower cleaner which I use at home. Attitude. It is very good. You just spray it after every shower. So I'm going to use it in here after every shower. That's in there, and in the bottom there is my Bissell stain eraser in case there's any naughty wee-wees. So that's in there, and then we've got, I'll show you my drawer. Is my drawer at the bottom? Yes. Well, in this drawer I've just got pants and socks and what have you, and then we've got all our clothes hung up in the wardrobe. We've got 2 empty boxes which go in there. We've got some bottled water right in the corner of there as well. Keeps it cool. We've got some more in the car because I'm not drinking the water out of the tap, I don't think. That can be open now. So I've had everything running. So everything's working, everything's draining. Take that out. So we're fully connected up with electric, wastewater and clean water, of course. There is supposed to be Wi-Fi here. I've no idea how it works, but I'm not bothered. I'll turn that off, we don't need that on. So, oh yes, that's the noise of the, yeah, I think 500. Once you get the, I turned it on when we first got here, it's quite cold. I turned the heating on to 2000 watts and it warmed up pretty quick. But I think just have it ticking over at 500 is fine. I'm absolutely starving now. Hang on, let me turn that light off. I'm absolutely starving, so I'm just going to have a coffee and a bagel and a sit down. I don't know what the time is. Oh, yes I do. Oh, it's only 4, so afternoon tea time. And then we'll have something, I'll have a proper meal, maybe about 6. It feels like it's a Saturday, it's not, it's Wednesday. But yes, I think I'll close the blind here. It's quite full, this caravan park. I thought it wouldn't be at this time of year, but it is quite full. Just pull that down. Hang on. That's in the way. Hang on, dear. Pull the blind. I'm not. That's it. Oh dear. There's my little caddy with my washing up things in. So when I use the induction hob, I'm going to put it on top of the cooker. It should reach and plug in to the socket here. At the moment, this socket has got my USB adapter, but I've got another socket down by the floor which might be better to charge our devices. So I think that's all I can show you. So I'm going to tuck into a bagel, a nice hot cup of coffee, watch a bit of telly. Of course I tuned the telly in first thing. What's one of the first things I did? Get your priorities right. And then I think what we'll have to do, we're going to have to get something sorted for, you know, because it's such a small space for 2 grown men. I've said I'll do the bed, you know, I'll set the bed up every night. So what Mark can do is take the dogs out to the dog park that's on this site so they can do the business. He can go out for 10 minutes or so while I'm setting up the bed. And I think that's the way to do it, because otherwise I'll just have to stand in the washroom out the way while I'm doing it. But everything's in its place now. I'm sure we'll get the hang of it. As I say, I'm a bit... Initial reaction is, oh, this isn't going to work. 2 people in such a small space. But we'll see. I want it to work. I just wished we could have gone for a caravan with the fixed twin beds at the back. I did show it when I was looking around caravans. And unfortunately it was far too heavy for Mark's Skoda to tow, so that was out of the question. But we'll see. Once we've had some food and once I've probably had a bit of alcohol, snuggled in, got some telly, and we'll soon be ready for bed, I think. So that's it, the first trip. It all went smoothly enough. Hooking up the caravan at home, the drive was okay, and getting it set up on site was surprisingly easy, you know. as I said, we shared the task. I connected up the stuff, filled the toilet, Mark did all the levelling and got everything. So, and I unpacked most of the things as well while he was doing outside. So it all worked out fine. So that's it. I'm really, really hungry, so I'm off. I'll see you next time. I'll show you around, possibly around the caravan park. There seems to be quite a lot of facilities, but don't know if I'll use them. I can see there's a laundry quite near. There's obviously toilets and there's quite a lot of facilities. We drove past the village I was born in, well, drove through it actually to get here. The village I was born in, Cherry Burton. And it was lovely to drive through there, a very nostalgic feeling. I've not lived there for a long, long, long time, but I was born there, and you are, I think when you're born in a place, it has some special meanings, doesn't it? My place of birth. Anyway, I'm a bit concerned about that kettle, so there's something wrong with that. Anyway, I'm going to have my coffee, have my bagel, watch some telly, and see what the rest of the day brings. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.